Let's get it popping, shall we? Oh god, that shit is fresh. Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea. I'm a snake. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not new, thanks for coming back. You already know that you're the realist and I do appreciate you a lot. If you would like to become truly spicy, the only way to do that is to subscribe and turn on the notifications. You would think that subscribing would make it so that you'd be like notified of when I post, but apparently that's not the case. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is at CCSUAREZ. That's how my voice gets louder. That's how I'm able to help more people and we're able to help more people. Plus, I share lots of cool stuff on there, such as my husband acting a fool, me looking like a potato, and my bulldog being the cutest creature in the world. And also for 30,000 subscribers, I will be doing a ridiculously massive giveaway that I'm really excited about. So be on the lookout for that. If you would like to watch any of my other commentary content and true crime content as well, you can click up there and the playlists will be up there. But let's go ahead and get on with it. Let's go ahead and get into this top fails video. As you can see, today we are drinking some canned wine because I'm classy, that's why. So I have a lot to go through.
I had just moved to Baltimore. I started a new job.
Okay, so life got hectic, which everyone always says. They're
Right.
busy, they need life to work out, and then you came back. Why?
Because I missed it.
What about it, though?
Because I realized what a good opportunity, and I didn't want to sleep on it anymore. And COVID had just happened.
And
I
the
was
life that
working
you
from
had
home.
without Monet was not delivering.
It's Monat.
Monet. God, modern nature. Mon.
How long ago did
I don't even remember, honestly. I think...
Doesn't matter.
Before 2020. All of 2019, I was gone.
And back in 2020?
Yeah.
I didn't even know who you were. I can't believe you quit. I would have never known that.
I know. I wish I had just kept going. I don't know why I stopped.
Why? Like you have no idea why you stopped?
I think I just made excuses.
She always.
Just a few things. I literally wrote down like bullet points. So number one, how uncomfortable and gross, not only how uncomfortable is this conversation, so she's at like a kitchen table or like a kitchen island or something, right? Is what I'm assuming. That's kind of like what like the setup or a dining table, whatever. She's at like a surface and sitting there and she's filming herself. And I guess it looks like to the two people in front of her, it looks like she's just, you know, like on her phone. And she even said they don't know that I'm recording this or that I'm filming. And so they're having a conversation, but what's the point or what's the purpose of this conversation? Like, why do you need to know like deeper and deeper and deeper? Like, why do you need to know all those details? I know why. I'm sure y'all do too, but I'm pretty sure it's so that, I mean, in my opinion, it's so that they can use what she said, use her own words against her later on. So she said, your life without Monet was not what you expected it to be. Girl, what? This is an employer. These are your coworkers. Who talks like this? Like it's and the fact that she was like, it's Monet, I'm refraining from using the B word. First of all, anyone ever calls me a bitch, which a lot of people do, I think it's a term of endearment. And if anyone ever calls you a bitch, your response should be the baddest, okay? Because you are the baddest. Just keep that in mind. Also, this is gross. Don't do that. First of all, it's probably gonna sound weird like me saying this. Don't record people without them knowing, like in person. Like obviously me taking screen recordings of like things that they post on Instagram, that's different because they're putting it out there. They know they're on camera. You're giving your consent to being filmed because you're filming it, right? But don't film people without their knowledge of them being filmed. Don't do that. It's just so manipulative. It's just so gross. Like, I don't, why would, like, if once she saw this afterwards, like, why would, like, this is your upline, you idolize this girl? These uplines are not nice to their people. I've never had a manager be, like, that rude to me. And I get it, like, oh, they're not my manager. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're the head of your team, the top of your team. If someone was that rude to me, I'd fucking quit. Actually, that has happened. I have had someone speak down to me and be rude to me. Not specifically like that, but she was rude constantly. And it's just because she was an unhappy bitch. But I walked into the CEO's office and I was like, I quit. I can't do this anymore. And then I came home. And Tony was like, that's fine. You don't need to work. I was like, okay, babe, thanks. But like, I need to work.
Okay, guys, so I was thinking about this because I hear this so often from women who say, I don't have time, right? So I'll be like, you know, I think you'll be great at this. Like, I'd love to mentor you. I'd love for you to do this business with me. And they're like, I just don't have time. Okay, first of all, remember, I kind of had like a really demanding 9 to 5, which wasn't really a 9 to 5, it was a whenever to whenever, right? I did that, and I got to the second highest rank in the company like that. Now, while I don't have that, and I do run my business full time, I'm a mom, I'm a wife. So today, I did 3 loads of laundry this morning, organized the house. I went to lunch with Anthony. I worked after that. I literally went up with Anthony to his office and I was working. Now I'm picking up Sophie from school to go home to have snack to then take her to dance for 2 hours. So at the end of the day, it's about making time for the things that are important to you. So if you doing this business is important to you, you will make the time for it. It's honestly as simple as that. I have a great support system for my husband, and he understands that this is important to us and our family. But listen, it wasn't always like that. He didn't always understand the sacrifices that I was going to have to make. But you know what? He quickly saw the vision. He jumped on board, and he's my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader. And yeah, don't say you don't have time, because we make time for the things that matter. So if it matters to you, you too will make the time for it. But anyways, just wanted to share that with you because I was waiting in line to pick up Sophie, and I was like, dude, every time somebody tells me like they don't have time, it's such an insult to like everything that I do.
One thing that I actually do agree with her is where she said, we make time for the things that matter to us. And I agree with that. For instance, I hear a lot of people be like, oh, I don't have time to, post consistently. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to meal prep. I don't have time to, do whatever, right? But it's like, you could, you just got to manage your time better. However, when people say, I don't have time to do that, it really means I don't want to make time for that. Because I know how much I see you, the person pitching me this pyramid scheme, I know how much I see you on the internet and on just like working constantly. And yet you say it's time freedom, but you don't really mean free time. You don't actually mean time freedom. You mean like location freedom, which just means that you can work from anywhere, which doesn't mean that you're gonna have time off. You never have time off when you're in a pyramid scheme or in an MLM. Again, I've clarified this before, unless you're like at the very top and have for instance, like unless you're fucking Jacqueline Ortega, who's a Monat, and she has like 20 people at the top rank below her. That bitch don't even have to work. Like, she doesn't have to do anything. So that's like a one-off though, right? And then obviously the people above her are just fucking chilling. So it's just insane and like very belittling and demeaning. Like, is that attitude really gonna make people want to sign up under you? These aren't, like, this is a very unprofessional way to overcome an objection. Stop doing that. This is another episode of ew, stop doing that.
I need to get my taxes done. So that is my goal for this week, is just to organize myself, get my receipts together, and, tally up all of my expenses. So a lot of people don't realize this, but when you do Monet, there is a lot of business expenses that you can use. So, buying your products is a business expense. Your phone bill is a business expense. A computer, any hot tools, Dyson Airwrap, when you go to the hair salon, your hair, dyeing it, that's a business expense. So I need to collect all those, and it's a lot.
So let's talk about tax fraud. Because that's what that is. Now, I am not claiming to be a tax professional, okay? Little disclaimer there. However, I did sell accounting services and tax services to small business owners and big business owners, nonprofits, S corporations, C corporations. It's very impressive. But I did work with a lot of, small businesses, sole proprietorships, DBAs, 1099 employees, LLC sole proprietorships, more so, small or LLC partnership, more so smaller businesses, okay? Usually, I'd say less than $100,000 profit each year. Now, the thing is, you can't write off everything that she just said. There's a certain percentage of your cell phone bill that you can write off, because obviously it's not all for business use. There's a certain percentage of your mileage that you can write off. There's 2 different ways you can actually take advantage of your vehicle deduction. And then from there, there's, for instance, that light, I can write that off. Basically, almost almost anything in my office for, you know, that I've purchased for my home office, I can write that off. My microphone, my computer, my office supplies, my camera. See, I'm a content creator. They aren't considered content creators. They're considered 1099 salespeople. So they can't write off all this bullshit that they just talked about. However, if they are at, let's say, the Monation's big convention they have, or whatever MLM you're with, then, you know, clothes they buy for that, a good percentage of that could be a write-off because it's for that specific event. You know, driving there, because it is, you know, business purposes, it's a business trip. You know, they get their nails done, their hair done, things like that, right? Because it's specifically for that. Now, the idea is you're writing off all of these things and it's going to lower your taxable income. I know I just probably bored the fuck out of you, but either way, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. You can't write off all this stuff, and it's very misleading that she just acted like you could. They act like, oh, well, it's a write-off. Like, cue the scene from Schitt's Creek where David's like, I don't know, the tax people write it off. You're not getting that equal amount back. I could spend $100 on something for my business and it might only lower my taxable income by like $70. It really just depends. So it's important to understand that most of these girls, people, whoever, don't know what they're talking about when it comes to taxes. Most of them don't do quarterly estimated taxes and they're fucked at the end of the year. The bonuses and trips and things like that they get, that's taxable income. I really hope these girls are saving, because if not, it's going to be really embarrassing. Obviously, most of them aren't even making enough money to even like have this apply to their taxes. It's just like basically a hobby at this point. That was a lot. I know, I'm sorry, but it's just very misleading. And during this time of the year, Q1 and Q2, which really just Q1 because taxes are obviously due on April 15th, but they use this really as a selling point of, oh, well, you can, you know, write off all this stuff. And it's like, no, you can't. Like, what are you talking about? Like, me and Tony went to lunch on, when was it? Sunday? Yeah, we went to lunch on Sunday and then we took pictures after, like for my Instagram. And then we went and met with someone about something. Sorry, I gotta be vague, but we went and met with someone about like a potential partnership. So we wrote off that meal. And also we talked about a bunch of shit too. So that's a business expense for me. That's a business lunch, right? Now, I do write off a percent, I'm not gonna say a good percentage, but a percentage of like our date nights and stuff, because we talk about a lot of this stuff and Tony helps me with a lot of stuff on the back end. Not like editing or anything or researching or anything like that, just someone to bounce my ideas off of. And he calls himself my content strategist. He helps me come up with ideas for things and he's amazing. Like, he's got that ass, like dim cheeks and that brain. I don't know how I lucked out. Either way, it's bullshit and this girl doesn't know what she's talking about, but I've seen a bunch of them talk about this. It's so dumb. Gross. Okay, so this one is a Reels and it's woman dancing all over, and the song goes, "It's my life, bitch. It's my life, bitch." And this other person shared it, and it was like someone from her team, I guess. And it says, "Why do you homeschool?" And I'll say some of the other things that pop up. I'm gonna say all of them actually, because it's pretty fucking crazy. Work in MLM, not wear a mask, not vaccinate, sleep train, which isn't sleep training, just like keeping your kid on a strict schedule when they're a baby so that they'll sleep through the night. That's normal, right? My sister did that with both of her kids, and like they're fucking gremlins, but they're the best. And that way, like, you can actually schedule shit, you know? Like, I love that. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so sleep train, post so much, have a nanny, dance like a hoe. First of all, I can make any song slutty, okay? Turn on a Phil Collins song right now and I will be able to turn someone on. Okay, dance like a hoe, work so much, challenge people, travel so much, always talk about Monat because I'm living my best life. How about you? Are you though? Also though, so she doesn't wear a mask. This is really gross. So she homeschools, she doesn't wear a mask, she works for an MLM, she doesn't vaccinate herself or her kids, she sleep trains her kids, she posts too much, she has a nanny, I guess. She says that she dances like a hoe. I don't think she's dancing like a hoe. Also, hoe life. Live it up, Bill. Married hoe life. Being only a hoe for my person. And y'all get it. She works too much, she challenges people, she travels too much. I mean, I'd say I hope not during a pandemic, but she doesn't vaccinate her or her kids, it looks like, and then she doesn't wear a mask. So clearly she doesn't fucking care about travel restrictions. And then she always talks about money. Like, this is gross. Don't do this. Also, listen, y'all might hate me for saying this, but you know I am one level-headed hoe, okay? You want to know the only thing that vaccinations cause? Adults. That's what they cause. Vaccinate yourself and your fucking kids and wear a goddamn mask. You gross troll. and stop being in an MLM. This person probably has a fucking tinfoil hat too and thinks that the earth is flat. Oh my God.
Professional stylist thing. There are hundreds, probably thousands of professional hairstylists using and loving Monat. It is a fact. Ryan Richman, being the hairstylist for cover of Cosmo, using Monat. If you ever hear a stylist or anyone say with malice and aggression that Monat is not a professional product, that should be warning bells in your head that an ulterior motive. It's just that's the point we're at now. If I get one more DM of someone saying, well, so-and-so said it's not, try again. Try again. That should freak you out, especially if they've never talked about another brand with that much hate and anger. You know? The thing. You know that a lot of reps in the salon are also not hairstylists. They are in marketing. They are trained by the company to go out to the salons and sell the salons on these products, just like pharmaceutical reps. Those reps ain't doctors. It's just ridiculous. Like, a celebrity hairstylist will seriously use Monat for the cover of Cosmo, but there are still some people down the road that say, oh my God, no. That is not no, professionals don't use that. If I can teach a family member how to do a PIC line dressing change without insulting them and saying, you're not a nurse, you can't do this. You should just really calm down with the shampoo thing. The lady doth protest too much, methinks. What is that? What is that, Hamlet? That's what I think when people are raging on shampoo. Whoa.
And you can say all day, like, oh, her argument is, kind of valid of how those people are sales reps. Okay, but they've gone through training. They've also been hired specifically by the company because of their qualifications and their experience, basically. When you're a pharmaceutical rep, you know every little thing about what you're selling. You know what it can be combined with, what it can't, and the ins and outs of the lawsuits. You're going to be professional and overcome objections. You're not going to put people down and someone be like, oh, well, I don't want to use that medication. My grandfather died of a heart attack after taking it. They're not going to be like, oh, your grandfather died. Oh, as if some of these girls are when they're like, oh, your hair is falling out. It's like, bitch, what? Imagine being that unprofessional. And she's like, oh, well, they have an ulterior motive. You shouldn't listen to these people because they have an ulterior motive. Does it affect me if you actually use Monat or not? No, it doesn't. It doesn't fucking affect me. Does it affect me if you actually join Monat or not? No, not at all. Physically, emotionally, mentally. I mean, it kind of makes me sad, but it doesn't affect me. Financially, not at all. I can still reach a bunch of other people. I can still help a bunch of other people. Stay away from it or get out of it. It's fine. But who does it benefit financially for you to join Monat? Who actually has the ulterior motive? Probably one of the top reps of the company who is constantly sharing false information. Probably that person. Yeah, it's probably her, the person we just watched. Also, don't drive and be on Instagram. Don't drive and film yourself. Put your phone away while you're driving. I don't know if it's illegal in every state, but it should be illegal in every state. Yeah, these are going to be the last two for today. And keep in mind, almost all of these people, except for one of them, is like a leader, like a high-ranking person within whatever MLM they're in. I don't know if all of them are in the same one or which ones they're in. I mean, I know some of them, but it's embarrassing. It's very unprofessional. You don't speak down to people like this. You don't gaslight people like this. You don't treat people below you like this. It's gross and it's classless. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what rank you're at. Class has nothing to do with money or how many designer bags you have. Class has everything to do with how you treat someone who can do nothing for you.
Here is a PSA. If there is one thing that I really don't handle well are excuses, because guess what? Everyone has things going on in their life, and your problems are not an excuse for why you're not succeeding or why life is a big pity party for you. Like, guys, select your thoughts and know that you have the power to control your life. If you work hard, you will find success. If you don't and you have an excuse for everything, you will not. Okay, and those are just like the simple facts, basic rules that grown-ups decide not to pay attention to because they prefer to be the victim than to just shape their life. You know, your everyday actions and decisions play a huge role in the life that you live. So take action, be proactive, stop the pity party and the nagging about how everything's so hard for you. Like, no one cares. That was very honest, but it's the truth. So if
I do agree with one thing she said, kind of, you know, the things you do, your actions are going to be, you know, getting you to where you're wanting to be, right? So every single day, the things that you do are going to get you to what you want to do. So for instance, I want to make more money from YouTube. I want to be able to hit my goals more. I want to be able to give back to you guys more. I want to upgrade my, you know, production value. I want to, you know, do a lot more and be able to do a lot more, right? And the way I'm able to do that is by making more money on YouTube. So I'm going to put out a video almost every single day, right? Except for the weekends, because I kind of chill. There's a book that my sister loves, actually, called The One Thing. And I actually ordered it earlier this morning because I was like, I need to read that. And it's basically, what's the one thing that you can do each day that'll get you closer to your goal? That's great. That's actually helpful. But then she just goes on to basically say, like, select your thought. I don't like excuses. When these people say, I don't like excuses, it basically just means they don't like being turned down. They don't like that people are telling them no to joining their opportunity, right? Or a big one is when they're at like the top, they don't like that people are telling them basically like, hey, I didn't hit this rank, or I couldn't recruit this many people, or this person below me quit because XYZ. Or like, I've had a terrible month. I had COVID. I had a miscarriage. I lost my job. I did this. I did that. I went through a divorce. You know, my kid was really sick. You know, I have no more friends because of this. And I've been working so hard and it just isn't working. And she says, oh, well, everyone has a hard life. Imagine your boss telling that to you. That's so fucked up. That's so rude. Why are you treating people like this? It's so unprofessional. Like, don't even get me started on like the personal side of it, but from a professional aspect and going on Instagram to say all this shit. Like, what? That's insane. And then basically I just got like big like vibes of like, you know, when you're like anxious or something, or you're just in a funk, or you're super sad, you're depressed, you're really going through it. I've had so many people tell me before, if I'm like, oh, I'm having like an anxiety attack, or like I am, you know, I'm really anxious. And they're like, well, don't be. It gives me really, like, this Instagram story gives me really big, well, then don't be vibes. Because it's like, well, select your thoughts. Get over it. Like, goddamn, okay. All right, cool. So it sounds like she didn't, like, people below her didn't rank up, and she's not happy about it because she doesn't want to work as much as she is now. And she didn't like make enough tens of thousands of dollars this past month. It's just so rude. I can't stand it. And also, there's a difference between being blunt and telling it like it is and actually being helpful because it's backed by compassion, and then just being a dick. There's a clear difference. Don't use the excuse of, well, I'm just blunt. No, Deborah, you're a bitch for no reason. Suck my ass.
On different levels. I look at this and I think of the people that I know that are successful. So I'm just going to use my upline Jacqueline as an example because she is easily the closest. She is the most successful person that I know in my life, right? This girl, I saw her sit down on her living room floor and work for a whole year. She didn't go to the gym. She didn't do any of these things. She sacrificed a lot to be where she is now. And so you have to yourself. And one of the reasons I'm not as successful as her is because I did prioritize the gym. I did prioritize the gym. I did prioritize time with my family. And so yourself, finding what works for you, what doesn't work for you. If you are on the road to being an entrepreneur, you sometimes have to understand that sacrifice is important in these building stages of your career. If you want that extra with your family, if you want all of these things that people say that they want. And so, you know, like, that's just my take on it. I am a very, you know, I see things without emotion, and I feel
that
like a lot of people
that doesn't make
can't.
sense, because the thing is that if all you had to do was like bust your ass for a year, more people would be millionaires with Monat. Like, so what she's saying doesn't make sense at all. And it's sad that like it has to be like one or the other. Why does it have to be you going to the gym, you being with your family, or being successful in Monat? Why does it have to be one of those? those? Why can't it be both? Because it's a pyramid scheme and it's not set up for everyone to succeed. That's not how it's set up. It's set up for there to be a constant stream of revenue coming in from people signing up at the bottom and then them basically not succeeding. That's how these companies make so much damn money, because they're really only having to pay the people at, you know, mid-level and up, not consistently, but a good amount of money. And then people at the bottom are getting paid fucking pennies, $15 every, you know, week or whatever. That's really unfortunate. They're doing all the work and the people at the very top are building lakeside fucking estates. Not gonna lie, her house is gorgeous, but it's like, girl, it's the house that your downline built is what it is. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that girl didn't work hard, but it's also like, worked hard at what? Recruiting people, lying to people, manipulating people. Yeah. Also, she came from money. I know that for a fact. So I know people who went to college with her. My fucking husband went to college with the top earner in Monat. He also said she's a bitch and that she comes from money. Like, she already had money. That would be like me going into an MLM and be like, oh my God, I was so poor before. I had nothing. This company gave me everything. That'd be a fucking lie. I was fine before. I was doing well for myself. And when you're already okay, you can do a lot better. You can take that risk for a minute and then keep going and ultimately be more successful. You'll see with a lot of these girls who are very successful in Monat, they weren't struggling when they first started. I see a lot of them that are like, oh, well, I was, you know, a broke college student. And it's like, no, you weren't. Your parents paid all your bills and your boyfriend was a successful YouTuber. Like, stop lying. You were working at Lululemon for fun in Hyde Park. Stop lying. Okay, guys, I'm sweating, so I'm gonna go peel off my snake skin and lay on the couch and edit this video. So I hope you had a great time. I know I did. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. If you have made it this far, I appreciate you. And thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to watch my content. I love you. I appreciate you. Feel free to binge watch my other stuff. Don't forget that we have merch. It'll be linked down below. We have the Little Dumpling Club merch as well and mugs, and I'm working on other stuff, but there's not much of a selection, which kind of stinks, but I'm trying to make it so I can like make more stuff. But we got some real cute merch, so feel free to check that out. Follow me on Instagram at I am CCsuarez. My Reddit page will be down below too. My little forum, my little community, my little subreddit. I love hanging out with y'all over there. It's real fun. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, weekend, whenever you're watching this. And I will see you in tomorrow's video. Okay, bye.